I have absolutely no idea how to start this off. Oh my god, I just remembered the Baha Men. Alright, so this is a YouTube channel, and, my name's Jace. I love movies, I love talking about them, and this whole series is going to be about a really big cash grab right now in Hollywood they like to call franchises. Now, as you know, franchises are, well, your typical Applebee's, your O'Charlie's, and your Fast and Furious movies. We're going to start off with a very, very popular franchise right now, but as we go later down the road, we're going to talk about some very interesting franchises that, well, come from way back when. We'll get to it. A few disclaimers before I start off. First and foremost, if I say a lot of opinions in this entire video, they are perfectly my opinions. They're not meant to offend you, and they're not meant to condescend you if you have a different opinion. By no means am I willing to pawn off my personal opinion as my objective truth. That's just not what I'm about. You're not dumb if you like any of the movies I am about to tear apart. So yeah, let's just jump right in. We're doing the DCEU. Now, funny thing about the DCEU is that it really isn't officially called the DCEU by Warner Brothers. It's actually gotten that name from some stray article some guy wrote. The guy jokingly called it DCEU. So yeah, little known fact, kids. All right, show me the movies. Man of Steel. You know, this came out in 2013. What was I doing in 2013? Was I in high school? I think I was. Did I have a girlfriend? I think I did. Am I enjoying either of those things now? Absolutely not, but that's okay. So, Man of Steel. Gosh, Man of Steel, you know, I always liked what it was going for. I really do. I really like the concept of a Nolan-esque Superman. Or do I? You see, Batman is very dark and gritty and brooding, so Christopher Nolan really likes to do not necessarily dark movies, but just very realistic and layered movies. A very deep dive into the psychiatricness of a person. So when he did Batman the Dark Knight, it really made sense that he was doing Batman the Dark Knight. I mean, honestly, it's Batman. If you're making a dark and gritty movie, that perfectly applies to Batman, so it worked. If you're trying to apply the same concept to Superman, then it could fall flat on its face. And it did. It did really bad. Again, not to say this is the worst movie I've ever seen. It's not, and a lot of the complaints people typically have about it, I really don't have. I don't mind the fact that he destroyed half of Metropolis while fighting Zod. Zod was just as powerful as Superman was, if not more powerful, so why wouldn't he cause 9/11 on crack? It makes more sense to me than to like not have him destroy the city. And besides, if I'm Superman in that scenario, I'm trying to keep Evil Dude out of the city, but you know, Evil Dude's a little bit more experienced than me, so it's kind of hard. Anyways, and then that whole thing where you always say, oh, well, you know, Pa Kent told little Clark that that you should have let those kids die in the bus, you know? But no, he didn't say directly, oh, you should have let those kids die. He just casually said, maybe, you know, because he's a human, and that would have been the only alternative if he had not saved them. So, honestly, I give the movie a good, solid C+, borderline B-, because it's objectively not the worst movie I've ever seen, and I didn't hate it while watching it. I just know that it could have been better. Moving on, next movie. Bat Butt vs. Super Turd. Dawn of... who cares? Okay, so a little known fact, kids. This movie wasn't even planned. They didn't even plan to bring in any of the other DC heroes into Man of Steel's universe. It just kind of happened, and we all see the results. You see, Man of Steel was meant to stand on its own. It wasn't meant to have any other superheroes jam-packed into its universe. So when it did, it really skewed things over. You see, Batman vs. Superman is such a complicated movie to review because I've literally had people get deep into why, wait for it, it's actually a good movie. All the hate and flack that it very deservingly gets, there's those people out there, they're like, you're not watching it right. Really, dude? I'm watching a movie and disliking it. What's watching it right? Look, I know that The Big Lebowski is freaking awesome, but I also accept the fact that there's someone out there who just hates it.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
I'm not gonna write a 12-page essay about, hey, you shouldn't hate The Big Lebowski, dude. It should be a White Russian. Batman vs. Superman should have had an incredible premise. I have seen Batman fight Superman in The Dark Knight Returns animated classic. That movie is amazing. That graphic novel is amazing. That had build-up, that had tension, and that had perfectly legitimate reasons why Batman and Superman were fighting. In Batman vs. Superman, it just didn't really feel right. None of the characters felt right. Everybody felt hollow. The themes were there, but it was executed through hollow characters and hollow movie. It's like saying you had sex with a celebrity, but that celebrity was Gwyneth Paltrow. Woo! I give Batman vs. Superman a very solid C-. Next movie.
Nothing really matters to me.
Suicide Squad. What, we just some kind of Suicide Squad? You know, that was actually the entire cast of Suicide Squad committing career suicide. Little known fact, kids. This is Katana. She traps the souls of her victims in her sword. I would highly recommend not getting killed by her. I sound ridiculous, but that's an actual line from the movie.
This is Katana. I would advise not getting killed by her. Her sword traps the souls of its victims.
Quite more ridiculous, honestly. Look, Suicide Squad is so many things, and I've actually had somebody, again, try to convince me that, no, wait, it's actually a good movie. Look, again, it's just, if you liked it, fine. I like a movie called George of the Jungle. Wait, you've never heard of George of the Jungle? You've never heard of George of the Jungle. George of the Jungle, Brendan Fraser. That blonde girl from This Is 40. Wait, come on, it's like it was in the 90s, and it was the only time Brendan Fraser was buff, and it's just such an adorable movie. It's got this really weird reggae song in the middle of it, but it's a catchy song. I looked it up. Wait, where was I? Oh, Suicide Squad. Jeez, Jared Little freaking Suicide Squad. I'm gonna open up with the fact that it does get a very solid F, but that's just because of all the production issues. Look, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It really isn't, but that doesn't make it any less bad. It's just like the editing was so askew. The wrong people were editing it. The corporate studios were making all of the wrong decisions. Guardians of the Galaxy happened to come out right before it, so, you know, they're trying to model their humor after Guardians of the Galaxy when they did two super dark movies, and it's just really poor timing in the end. So, all in all, they have a scene where they have some random guy named Slipknot. He can climb. Slipknot. He can climb. Slipknot, the man who can climb anything. Do I need to go more into it? Again, Jared Leto's Joker could have been better, should have been the villain of the movie, and yeah, that's about it. F, guys. Solid F. Wonder Woman, the only good one. Now, when I say it's a good movie, yeah, it's a pretty solid movie. And the only reason it's a solid movie is because it actually looked like it knew and wanted to do what it was doing. When a movie's not being itself, you can tell, you know what I mean? Like, when someone's not being themselves, you can tell, right? You're like, hey, Suicide Squad, are you okay? You seem a little upset. Oh no, I'm fine, you know, it's just this really weird witch person is my villain. Oh, okay, and you're okay with that? Uh-huh. Yeah, it's great. Totally shouldn't have been the Joker. So, when it came to Wonder Woman was doing its thing. Wonder Woman wanted to be what it wanted to be. I liked Wonder Woman up until the last bit of the movie where Ares actually was real and Wonder Woman was right about everything, which is stupid because it totally just destroys what we were trying to establish to Wonder Woman, which was the fact that, look, Ares is not causing war between humanity, it's just people causing war. People can be shitty, so That's just something Wonder Woman's gonna have to accept. But no, we had to have Ares randomly show up and still have his mustache when he's in God form? Have you seen him in the comics? He looks way more intimidating, guys. I'm just saying. So all in all, Wonder Woman. I think what made Wonder Woman a lot better was the culture behind Wonder Woman, the significance of Wonder Woman. That's what made it even better for the fans. That's what gave it more hype and more gravitas. So yeah, I give Wonder Woman a B+. Justice, plebes. Justice League. Justice. Okay. So, Justice League. I, as a child, watched this TV series. Beautifully made. I didn't deserve how good it was, guys. I didn't. I didn't deserve how good the Justice League animated show on Warner Brothers on Cartoon Network was. I didn't deserve that. But I look back at it, I'm like, this entire show is a masterpiece, perfectly capturing what I know and love about these characters. And then I see the live action adaptation. It's two different movies. It's Joss Whedon's movie, it's Zack Snyder's movie. Everyone said that before, but I'll say it again. It's a Frankenstein of a movie, two different tones battling against each other to make this disgusting mess of a movie that they tried to tell me was the Justice League. It was not the Justice League. It was garbage. It was garbage. It was garbage. Look, if you're gonna insult me by giving C- level material, by all means do it. If you're gonna have all these superheroes who are basically gods, and you're gonna just slap me in the face and not even have the courtesy to take me to dinner first, and call it the Justice League movie, then screw you, WB. Seriously, endure my giant middle finger if that's what you're gonna tell me is the Justice League. It was dumb, it was boring, it was hollow, I hated everyone, I hated everything, none of it was good. The villain was a joke. You have a charming, charismatic villain like Loki.
If it's all the same to you, I'll have that drink now.
Yet you have the most pathetically bland and boring villain like Steppenwolf. He did nothing, said nothing, is nothing. It's ridiculous. I apologize for that very anger-fueled rant. It's just, these are my beloved characters. This is what I know and love. I adore these characters with all my heart and passion, and I hold them dear to my heart, and I feel like giving me a rice cake of a movie to commemorate them is kind of an insult. It's a big kick in the balls, Warner Brothers. You owe me money. So all in all, let's just wrap it up. The DCEU, it's effort. It's pathetic effort, but it's effort, I guess. The most recent movie coming out, Aquaman, I still don't know if I'm gonna go see. If I do see it, I will give a review on that. Let's hope it's good. I do love Jason Momoa as a person, but I just don't know if I care anymore. The Shazaam trailer was garbage. I'm just gonna cut to this.
BM to the A.
Yeah. Oh no, looks great. No, go see it. Seriously, I dare you. Anyways, look, whatever DCEU, DC Comics Extended Universe efforts they try to throw at me, I'm just not gonna care anymore. I'm not gonna care to see any of it anymore, because why should I? All the attempts have fallen flat on their face, and it's all just pathetic in the end. DC tried but failed. Marvel, again, try to be the guy with the scarf and the glasses that says, hey, Marvel's the same every time. Look, so are the Bourne Ultimatum movies. That doesn't make them objectively bad. I'm just saying, seriously, the Bourne movies are the same movie every time. However, they're really good every time. It doesn't make them objectively bad. Just because you do the same formula in your franchise, again, doesn't make your movie objectively bad. At least Marvel adapts the right things, casts the right actors. adapts the right stories. And if they make a mistake, it's only a slight mistake and not too much to kill their entire franchise. There aren't drastic tone shifts, and even if you feel like there are, again, I can still live in the Marvel Universe and connect every story. It all works. They just found a way to make it all work, and I'm not gonna lie, I shamelessly love every single Marvel movie that was ever made in a very special way, even if they weren't that great. Except for Doctor Strange. I'll have another video about that. But all in all, guys, the DCEU franchise, hey, it's like you're on a date with someone and they farted and they keep trying to have the date and you're just like, look, you farted, it smelled terrible, I need to go home. Anyways, let's hope that about 10 years later, they try to do another universe, quote unquote, and yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is a new Joker. Cheers.